Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today, gonna be a Midrank Madness game sent to Sniper Monkey at the email address in the description with the subject of Midrank Madness. It's gonna be a 3v3 here on Realities Simulation, a map I'm very familiar with as I play 3v3 a lot. Alright, so Team South here is gonna be a Red Zerg player. It is Ifusco. We also have a Blue Terran. It is Zabox. And finally, another blue Terran, but a lighter blue. It's Kai. Team North, a yellow Terran named Ugod the Great. We got ourselves Wee, who's a purple Protoss. And finally, another Protoss. He's orange. It is Smokey McDank. There we go. So, good map. I like this a lot, because you get a little safe natural base, like as long as you're walling off down here. You got some rocks you can knock down for access into the mains of everybody if they're not paying attention to them. You have bases you can ninja expand to if they're not paying attention. Like, there's a lot of things you can do on this map that are just kind of hard to scout and keep track of all the time. It's also not a map that you can just kind of go sky toss and win, which some of these 3v3 maps are pretty well built for that. This one, no, not so much. Not a lot of dead airspace at all. You can just hide and retreat to, you know? Ilfusco says, let's do this. Let's hit this in 7 minutes. Let's do it. Ilfusco, I'm sorry to tell you, but you are wrong. This replay is longer than that. But, you know, we went pool first. So no, just kidding. That was a hatch first play. Hatching first. What I don't like about this map is third bases for Zergs are totally bad. What I like to do is kind of take this as my third base. Because, you know, it kind of looks like it belongs to this guy, but also he's got this back base that he can take. So if it's a Terran or a Protoss that's here, I just take this as my third because it's safe, and they are on 2 bases anyway. 2 base Protoss and Terran is equal to a 3 basing Zerg. So it seems fair. I've had someone complain to me about it a couple times before, but I'm like, whatever, man. You can just do better on 2 bases. If I'm on 2 base, I'm behind. The other option is doing this, like completely outside, completely far away from everything for defensive purposes. I hate it. This base of mine has died a lot. I try to take it anyway in a situation where, like, it's a Zerg player here, and, you know, they could use the third base as much as I could, so it's theirs, and I'll allow them to have it. Anyway, woo, 4. Wait, 2 racks with double Engi Bay here from Ugod the Great. What is this plan you're doing, man? Protoss Smokey McDank doesn't seem super hot. He's throwing up defensive cannons, which is like, no, I don't like it. If you need to defend, wall this off. Maybe put a cannon behind it, but don't spend resources on cannons just for no reason. He's probably gonna throw up a cannon back here too, which is not a terrible idea. But what I would do is keep the pylon here. If you notice these rocks are getting hit by something, then throw down a cannon. Save the money. Save the money for something else, like more probes. For the time being. You can get 2 probes for the cost of a cannon. Actually, 3 probes for the cost of a cannon. I can't do math. Factory on the way from Kai. Mech's pretty good on this map. Just a million siege tanks and Thors could be kind of hard to take down. Mr. Protoss, I guess, and you have a million immortals. But, you know, sometimes Protoss don't know exactly how to do that. Cybercore, Gateway. Fine. All your tech is late, Mr. Smokey. You haven't taken your second safe base yet. Not even close. And that's okay. We've all got things that we struggle with from time to time. Another barracks on the way here from Zabak. Looks like he's going for a marine tanky style play, which is good, fine, especially for these early 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 minute style attacks we see in 3v3 sometimes. Zerg player doesn't have a third at 3:30, which seems like a problem. Also doesn't have a roach warren. Okay, getting a baneling nest and a lair at least. A lot of gas there too. Unable to spend any of that gas until this baneling nest finishes. Or, I mean, spent some gas on speed and on that layer upgrade, but whatever. The thing about 3v3s is a lot of players are doing a lot of different things. We seems a little bit slow on the uptake here, too. Going double Stargate, got a second base coming in. Probably going to be Void Race here from him. And, again, Ugod the Great is going, there it is. Finally using the engineering bay for upgrades that he built, you know, a minute and a half ago. Being late on these timings is big. Like, I know you're doing it, and you're like, oh, yeah, I built this engineering bay with the intent of getting upgrades, and I didn't. Oh, well, I'll start them now. Like, you don't think that's a big deal? It's a big deal. And it sucks. So nobody's taking this base. All right. I mean, Ilfusco, I understand you don't want to. Oh, man, it's just macro hatching here instead of taking a third. See? Zerg players don't like taking thirds on this map. Just do it, man. Take it here or take this. And just risk the wrath of Kai being mad at you about it. Kai's getting double armory, so he seems to be, there you go, third fact. Definitely meching down here, my boy. So it's going to be a marine tank and mech and, I guess, speedlings and banelings from Ifusco here. On the other side, Smokey McDank is going, I guess, gateway units, stalkers and zealots, and then, what are we making here? Voids? Yep, void rays. And and upgraded Marines with no medevac support from You God the Great. So there are some plans here. Some of them aren't super good. Yeah, I think Team South has a better identity, a better sense of what they're doing here. Team North is just lost. Like going pure gateway, this is just Smokey McDank is, I don't know if he's been smoking and he's a little bit too high to play StarCraft right now. I think sometimes that happens, and he did throw down a robotics bay, so that's good. If you're just going to have Stalkers and Zealots here, he was going to die to whatever Team South does to him. But if he's got some Disruptors or even a couple Colossus, that completely changes the math here. If you're going Ling Bane and the Protoss shows up with 3 Colossus, you're just like, okay, well, I'm going to go home now. I can't participate in this battle at all. Yeah, and the Void Rays here from We are fine. The Marines without any medevac support make me sad, but there's a factory coming in from You God the Great. So, hey, maybe he can do it. Maybe he can get some medevacs out here in time to when he will need them. Look at this dude. Look at him. He's working. He's got that +1/+1. Oh, yeah. 1/1 upgrades. No one's got 1/1 upgrades. Okay, he says, I got 1/1. Let's go. And his teammates are like, okay, fine. Here comes We with his Void Rays. And there's a couple slow lots in here, too. And our orange guy, Smokey McDank, is not really part of the team. Or maybe he communicated with him and said, I'll stay back and guard the home front with my 2 Zealots and 4 Stalkers. And they were like, yeah, you do that, buddy. You do that. Yeah, so these tanks are great against all of this. The Marines, if they can fire directly on the Void Rays, they can kill them. But if they spend their lives going against Zealots and other Marines, everyone's going to be in trouble. So what I would do, maybe back out the Marines a little bit, let the Lings, Banes, and tanks handle everything on the ground here. And then once all that's dead, then bring the Marines in and take down the Void Rays. But that level of coordination is hard to pull off in just what looks like a ladder 3v3 game. Like, I don't think anybody understands anybody's strategy. I don't know if anyone's talking to each other. The other team here, we're not going to get any of their words. Look at this. The Fusco's like, we'll see ya, right as this is happening. Oh, he expanded here. That's nice. That's good. Because look what they did. They checked this first. And there are some tanks. And the Void Rays are like, we can kill tanks. And the Marines are like, can you though? And the Void Rays are dying, but the Zealots are on top of them. The Marines are getting distracted by everything else, and the Zerg player's just kind of shirking around up here doing nothing. Dude, Smokey McDank has a Colossus. No. Oh, that's beautiful. Soaked in a ton of Baneling hits there. Lings are all over Wee's base. He made Mass Void Ray. He can't do anything about 100 Zerglings. Hoo boy. But yeah, remember that plan that I had that our guy Fusco kind of messed up? Well, the Void Rays are free and clear here. Fusco's going to lose everything. That's bad, but also Wee's losing everything, because like I said about Void Rays, they are not good against a million Zerglings in your base. They're depowering buildings. They might actually get rid of an armor upgrade for the Void Rays. No, they're not. That finishes. A little bit untargeted here. Fleet Beacon dies. Counts for something. On the other side, a couple throws come out from Kai, because he's meching. Takes him a while to get going, but when he does, mech is pretty good against a lot of things. Look at this. He could even take down Void Rays. I mean, using the single target ability would be better, but Void Ray's not microing anyway, so whatever. So they, Zerg player, bad place. But he did sort of kill Wee here a little bit. How many probes does he have left? 4. 4 probes remaining for the Protoss player. Not ideal. Ooh. Was that a Colossus from Smokey McDank? Did he come all the way down here to die to a siege tank? I think that's probably what happened. Man, Smokey, get on the same page. Kill the Cyber... What are you doing? Kill the Cyber Core. Oh, and then he doesn't send enough Lings to kill these Marines. And then he wanders a smaller group of Lings into the Void Ray defense. All right. So if Fusco, look, man, if you're going to go pure Ling, be smart about it. Take down that Cyber Core. Take down the stars. Absolutely set Wee back to the Stone Age. And he doesn't. He leaves him a Stargate. He leaves him the Cyber Core. Much easier to rebuild from this position, and instead goes to kill a couple Marines and maybe an SCV down here with all those Lings. It could have done so much good otherwise. Good news for Fusco is he's got his third base up. It's a bit of a ninja. It's like a moderate ninja. Yeah, about a moderate ninja here. Hiding all his overlords in the corner over that way, which, if the enemy goes into Phoenix, you're going to have a bad time. So Maybe don't do it that way. Third base, warping in from Smokey, though. Hey, look at that. He and Fusco are the only players to have third bases right now. Well, almost third bases right now. Wee's not really in a position to do it. I'd love to see You God the Great take a third. He's floating 3,500 minerals and 2,600 gas. He's trying to go mech. Well, now, no, sorry. He's marine tanking it with 2 barracks on 2 bases. Dude, you need more barracks. Come on, You God the Great. You can do it. You're doing very good things. But you need a third base and probably a 4th base. And you need like 5 more barracks here. Like maybe even another factory, depending on what you want to do. But instead, you move out on your own. Just kidding. Here comes Wee with the Void Rays again. The anti-air is what matters here, right? You've got the ground stuff covered with banelings and tanks and marines. So if you can wipe this out easily without taking too many hits to your own marine count. What is this? Who's building a command center right there? That is a horrifically bad place for a command center, y'all. Is it them? Are they going to come set... Oh, they are. You God the Great's going to come set up a planetary as a front-forward position. Okay, as a defensive position, that's terrible, but as an offensive one, that's not bad. Remember when the enemy had a million Void Rays of Fusco, and you were like, who needs Hydralisks? Who needs... Oh, he's getting a Spire now. He's trying. Oh, he's going to lose his third. That sucks. Okay, so third base down for a Fusco. He got his natural base back and loses his third. These drones are on a mission? Okay, remember what I said about keeping your tank, keeping your marine count healthy, rather. It's not working, guys. We need someone who can deal with the Void Rays, and mass marine is a very cheap and easy and effective way to do it. But you sacrifice too many of them. Well, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe the one Viking is enough to chase these guys away. No, he's not anymore. Look at this. Command center is going to finish building hilariously. This is great. Do it. Put the planetary at the front. I'm on total board with this Fusco, man. Look. Build a hatch here. He's thinking about building a hatch here. There we go. Taking that top right-hand base for himself. Smokey McDank currently has 4 Colossus. So you know what? In a team game, if all you're doing is pumping Colossus, you're contributing. You're contributing at a decent level, I would say. Not a terrible idea. Really strong, really powerful units. Really good in just big battles. Really good against, you know, siege, well, not siege tanks, but more the Marines and the Lings and the Banelings and stuff. This is so funny. Repairing the command center. He's throwing a bunker up in front of it, which is very good, too. Corruptors coming in. Okay, look. Corruptors against Void Rays are bad. I mean, Marines are left enough to chase the Void Rays away. I don't know if I agree with that. If these Marines were full health and they had medevac support, yeah, sure. Oh, and the Colossus are like, you are doing stuff to our Void Rays. Whoa! Oh, man, the Marines could have killed them all. They overextended and the Marines pulled back. Ugh. They got 1/1 upgrades, which isn't horrendous. Do they not have stim? They don't have stim. All right, man, Zabax. We got to have a talk about this. He takes the third base here. He takes a 4th base down here. Third base coming from Kai all the way down in the bottom left, which is hilarious. But sure, wherever you want it to go, man. Nobody wants to expand to here or to here. Understandably so. Colossus, again, whittling down, but the Thors are here now. They're using the wrong attack. Although, clumped up Void Rays, never mind. Clumped up Voids take tons of damage from the splash damage attack of the Thors. Big deal. Really big deal here. That was nice. That was a great combination from both of these teams here. Or rather, from both of these players. Fusco and Kai kind of working together. Zibax, he's got his tank with 0 kills somehow, some way. Team North is not expanding. They're not taking 3rds or 4ths or 5ths or anything close to it. And Team South is. And if Team South is going to win, it's going to be because of that fact, is that they took extra bases where Team North is like, I'm happy with 3 bases, with 2 bases. I mean, You God the Great is floating 3,000 minerals and 2,000 gas. Still, because he's refusing to build more barracks or build more factories, he's getting upgrades. Like, he knows what he's doing to a certain extent here. Yeah. Is this guy making SC? Why are you building SCVs? This contain. I've never seen anything like this before. In all of my 3v3 playing, is Team North just setting up a contain with planetaries, upgraded bunkers, mind you. These are upgraded bunkers and turrets. I kind of like it. See, what the thing is, they think they have the opponent squeezed, but if Fusco's got a third base, Zabax has a fourth, and Kai's got a third base down here too. So if you're going to do this kind of a contain, send something around. Maybe send a Void Ray around, just checking all of the additional extra base locations that your enemies could be expanding to, because, you know, if they found this, they'd kill it easily. Same thing for this one, same thing for this one. So it's a risk that Team South is taking, and it might actually pay off. So how do you break out of this? Well, first of all, 1,000,000 Vikings is apparently some of the answer. Yeah, okay. I'm okay with 1,000,000 Vikings here. Just kill all the Colossus and all the Void Rays, and then pull back. And then it's just a handful of siege tanks, which, you know, Lings and Thors working together should be able to handle. The Corruptors are maybe overkill at this stage. I think the Vikings have the anti-air covered and the anti-Colossus stuff covered too. Yeah, I mean, Fusco lost this base. Reasonable. Oh, some Stalkers are here from Smokey McDank. He's making Immortals now. Okay. I have enough Colossus, he says. Oh, Kai tries an SEV transfer. Okay, yeah, you're gonna want to either knock down the rocks of your own back door and get them there that way, or fly them. Lingbane Corruptor, you gotta work together, boys! Is it working? I don't know. Okay, well, get out of there. The Corruptors are like, hey, you gotta come with me, though. Ooh, that Void Ray wanted to die. It had a retreat vector, and it just decided not to take it a couple times there. Colossus, okay, pushing up the ramp from a defensive position is working until the Vikings get involved. They landed the Vikings? No! Lift the Vikings, kill the Colossus, and then land them if you want to. Okay, well, the Colossus get a lot more damage done than they should, but they're gone anyway. Vikings do bonus damage to mechanical units when they're landed, which Colossus are, so in a way, it wasn't as bad as it was supposed to be. I don't know how to explain it. Here we go. Mass Thor, Mass Viking. Bro, let's go, Terran boys. Let's go, Zebax and Kai working together. Caustic Spray going down on a planetary fortress that's being upgraded right now. It dies. 1,000,000 Immortals arrive. Not a bad answer to this whole Viking siege tank thing, actually, but wow. Thor's dying. They're taking Immortals with them, though. The Immortal count gets knocked down to 0, and okay. Team South busts out. What do they got? 119, 124, and 88 total supply to 20, 30, and 60. See, this is why God the Great now expands, but now that's after you lost your entire army, and you can't defend it at all. And the enemy kind of has free reign of the map, although not that Fusco's using it. He's just sort of hanging out. This is where you counterattack. As a Zerg player especially, if you break out of a contain like that, just beeline for the other side of the map. Check this. Check this. Check this. Because honestly, you can find stuff and kill it in situations like that, especially at our level of StarCraft. So not doing that by a Fusco is a problem. But he's taking a third base at the third base location. That's nice. First time that's been attempted today in 18 minutes, hilariously. Oh, look what we found. Oh, Smokey McDank was trying to expand up there. And he discovered the sneaky base of a Fusco. He's trying to expand here, but this is the good that Muta Corruptor Ling can do out on the map. They're not really intended to be siege units. They're not intended to be defense units. They're harass and attack undefended expansion units. That's what they do. They're very fast. They hit hard, but they're squishy. So anything that's defended can usually do pretty well against them, but undefended bases are these units' speciality. New base from a Fusco, going for a fifth. Nice. Fifth base here at 18 minutes. A little bit late, but it's been a bit of a crazy match. Smokey McDank tried going for a fourth base, failed miserably. Wee's just given up on life, I guess. He really has shown no interest in taking another base. Oh, maybe this guy was. And then he decided just to come home. I love expanding on the other side of the map. Hey, look, remember what I said? Easily killed base, but not if you just let the Void Ray die to a queen. It's not. Well, he tried to snipe the hatch with a single Void Ray. You know, if you showed up with like 10 Void Rays, you could do that, but you only have one. Your army value is abysmal right now. So yeah, look, if Team North had just taken extra bases during that contain, right? Just kind of sat there and waited for the enemy to try to break out, and then when they broke out, sure, they would have extra bases. They'd have more income available to them. We would have maybe 3 or 4 bases now, but he doesn't. He's just sort of hanging out here on 37 total supply, looking very sad. Kai says, well, let's just move across the map and see what happens here. Same thing with the mass Viking play of Zebax. I feel like we're playing mono battles. This player got Thor. This player got Vikings, apparently. Is this going to work? Well, he's just kind of move commanding into a lot of planetaries and tanks. I mean, I know you want to get all of your Thors attacking and stuff, but wow, you lost a few Thors there for almost no reason whatsoever. That said, Thors are still here. Caustic, spray the planetary. You've got it on cooldown. Go! Oh my gosh, Corruptor just kind of sitting here. Guess they were needed to take down the Void Ray and needed to take down the Colossus. Get the Colossus! Yeah! Corruptors here to get the Colossus. Colossus dead. Planetary down. But there's enough Stalkers here that the Corruptors have to flee. And there's DTs from Smoky McDank too. Look at that. Dude, the Vikings are way too late to this battle. But he did land 1,000,000 Vikings inside up. You got the Great though. His base is getting wrecked. Ooh, takes down an upgrade. What was that one? That was probably, wow, was that 2-2? 2-2 on the Armory. Landed Vikings surprisingly good against Stalkers. Not as good against DTs if they don't have any detection, which they don't. Who's going to scan? Who's going to scan? Fusco recognizes we need a scan before Zebax recognizes he needs a scan. This orbital command has 200 energy on it. He hasn't even... Okay, look. Zebax is not the greatest player StarCraft has ever seen. Understandably so. These bases aren't even upgraded to anything. See, you got the Great. Could have lost this base to literally anything that tries to kill it. This one as well could be killed. Just map awareness. It's just knowing what your opponent has. And as the Zerg player on the team, your job, Fusco, is to check this stuff out. But I get it. There's a lot to worry about. The Lings are a great answer to Immortals, but not if there's only like 10 Lings here. They're not going to take down all of these Immortals. Unless maybe they have incredible upgrades, which by golly. Okay, never mind. All the Immortals did die. In fairness, it's 2-2 Lings versus 1 shield on those Immortals. No attack upgrades, no armor upgrades at all. The DTs from Smoky McDink wiping out Fusco's base in the top right. Okay, all right. This is getting a little bit dicey for Team South a bit. Smoky McDink on a bit of a rampage here. Kai trying to expand to the right side, 3 o'clock. No. Actually, says a single Stalker. The Ling Corruptor stuff is kind of cool. I'm not going to say no to it. But if Team South just goes... Just honestly just want... Okay, sending all of your Thors to handle a single Stalker. Ooh, hang on, hang on. DTs are actually dangerous to your Thors. They do huge swipes that armor doesn't do very good against. Oh, look at these DTs recognizing they need to get out of here. Oh, smart. Smart boys. There's a scan. We haven't seen a scan all game. This is unfair. I'm not kidding. There's been a few scans here today. Look, it's 178, 176, and 116 supply for Team South. Team North is 40, 20, and 130. Go. This is a game where, like, one team has an unbelievable advantage on the other one, and they don't know it, and they're afraid, so they don't go. In fairness, 1,000,000 Vikings isn't exactly the composition that makes any sense here, but hey. They're going to go for it anyway. Only the front Vikings are attacking. They don't have nearly the range that the Stalkers do, which is hilarious. And here comes some Zerglings to assist in the battle, but once again, there's DTs in here. DTs getting way more work done than they otherwise should. You got scans. You can make overseers. Oh, what? Wow, that was in detection range of that missile turret, apparently. Okay, all right. And that's it for Smoky McDank's army. He's down to 40 supply now, so this is where everything just dies. You got the Great, hasn't upgraded this command center to anything. It's going to die. This is an orbital. At least he did that. Yeah, Terran's struggling mightily. This is definitely a lower level 3v3 here. Especially, man, he got killed and just never really recovered from it at all. Had no idea what to do. What did he get his economy up to? He ended up with 24 probes. 24. He lost 36 probes and made 24, and had 24 at the end of the game. Yeah. This guy here, you got to great, trying to build Vikings to counter the Vikings of Zebax. Not gonna work, man. Landed Vikings, yo. Good unit. Once again, DTs show up. Once again, Zebax has no idea. Oh, he does know how to scan. He did throw it on scan at some point, but he has more. He has more of them. So nice job, Team South, getting contained, expanding a bunch sneakily. Luckily, not getting those expansions scouted, and then just kind of winning with the better economy. It's the power of expanding. It just is. Team South expanded a bunch. Team North did not expand until it was too late. If they had expanded with the contain, they would have won this game. Also, if we had made any kind of an attempt to actually get back up to a decent economy, that would have worked too. Smoke Me Think says, Stalkers can probably handle... No, you know what, guys? You can't at all. Poor we. Never tried to take a third base, I don't think. Never got anything of a decent economy. The most workers he ever had in a game, I think, was about 35. At any point in this game was maybe that. Corruptors, I mean, they're preventing this Protoss from making Colossus, but otherwise not really doing much. The Void Ray from Bui's down here killing Kai's bottom left expand that he took 20 minutes ago. Oh, that's good. This game is over. We're going to ×2 this sucker, and we're going to see a GG from Smokey McDank here with his 30 supply. Got some cannons, got some probes, but just getting wrecked, and that's it. He leaves the game. We get a celebratory nuke. No, wait. The nuke doesn't happen. Oh, they teased us with a celebratory nuke here from our guy Zebax. Look at him. He knows how to make nukes anyway, but GG. Hit that like button if you had a lot of fun with that 3v3. It was interesting, I can give you that. Definitely one of the more interesting 3v3s. That contain at the front was very unique, and it didn't work, but it could have. I think it could have worked. It really, if they had just scouted for the additional extraneous expansions that Team South was taking sneakily and killed those and taken their own bases at the same time, that totally could have been a victory win. But at the end of the day, no. Kai ends up losing 28 Thors, because that's all he made today was Thors, and some Widow Mines, I guess. The player that lost the most resources was 36,000. It's just Smokey McDank, actually. 23 DTs, 11 Colossus, and 12 Immortals, and 96 Stalkers. So I don't know. His macro was probably better than anyone else's in the game. But, you know, his opening was bad. His support for most of the game was not good either. But probably the best player on Team North, which doesn't say a whole lot. Okay, great. That was really fun. Really good 3v3. Again, send in your submissions to SniperMonkey at the email address in the description. And that's going to be it for me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.